Dearest gentle listeners, you are listening to the Ladies Bridgerton, the talk of the town. We are your effervescent hosts, your neighbourhood-friendly Kiwi touch from Middle-earth, New Zealand.
And Patty, Regency romance enthusiast, currently writing her fantasy romance era.
Settle down onto your favourite settee as we delve into the lives of the elite and illustrious ladies, lords, and royalty of the ton. This Bridgerton podcast is two friends talking romance, symbolism, Easter eggs, and in the honorary late Catherine O'Hara, deep. How would you?
Deep, David.
Deep, David. Go deep.
Don't tell your son to go deep, Moira Rose.
Diving into the connections of our favorite characters, we cover both book, TV series, and notable social media, and therefore will contain spoilers.
Dearest listeners, today we finally finish episode 6, Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, but are in the decidedly non-romantic era of the episode. We watch Cressida take that which is not hers, but at the hand of her scheming mama. Penelope is trying to find her purpose within Colin's dreams, and Eloise went into a panic attack as she watched her selfish, petty choice of friend lead to a possible ruination of her family yet again.
I always chuckle when it's kind of realized that we are of one mind, because we don't share notes beforehand. We don't really talk about the episodes beforehand very much at all. So to hear you using very choice wording that I know is exactly in my notes is quite funny to me. One of us.
So, one of us. Okay, Tangent Squad, I am going to read out our Pod Snack sponsors of today. We had a watch party officially yesterday, Saturday for me and Sunday for Tosh. And our attendees, and we had 2 attendees that could not attend, but they still donated. So we are going to include Maria and Anne, and we will catch them with the next watch party. We also had Di, Julia, and Ruth, who did attend, and we had an amazing time. And then we had one of our followers just donate for the heck of it, Mary Ann. She just wanted to be a Pod Snacks sponsor.
That is so sweet. I didn't know that.
I thought she wanted to join the watch party, but she's like, no, I just wanted to donate to snacks.
That's so cute.
And I also want to throw out that KK Chips also sponsored, because she helped me pay for the macarons that I got. So
sorry, who was that?
Also
I crunched too hard and I couldn't hear it. Oh, lovely. Thank you, Kay.
Kay helped me pay for those. Only because, like, timing wise and weather wise, I really thought I wasn't going to be able to go pick them up, but I forgot to cancel. So I made it out there. It was treacherous. My leg, actually, I'm very happy because my leg was very sore yesterday, but I have been recovering faster when I re-aggravated it. So I definitely know I'm on the mend, and I definitely am pretty sure that it is my psoas muscle. So I feel a lot better today. So I am recovering a lot faster from re-aggravation and going out in the winter with the uneven ground and the snow. And I had to still scrape my car from Snowmageddon. So, but those are our Pod Snack sponsors of the day, and we very much appreciate it. My Pod Snacks today are, I made myself a pot of chili, but I've already eaten chili today, so I wanted something a little different. So I added some cheese dip to my chili, and I'm eating it with chips. So I created a chili cheese dip, and I still have macarons left. Not many, because I babysat my great nephew today. But I still have some macarons left. So that's my sweet treat.
My child spotted my macaroons from my own watch party on my own with you on Zoom the other day. And I was like, yeah, not for children, mine. It was a very Matilda moment.
Yeah, I was joking with the watch party people yesterday, because he came in and he's like, what's that? I see that. And you end up giving him a Ferrero Rocher. And I was like, yeah, he always comes in because he knows when we're talking, Mama's got snacks.
Oh, he actually didn't take any of the Ferrero Rochers because dark chocolate.
You were trying to offer him one.
No, I was trying to show him what they were, but he wouldn't eat dark chocolate. It's the
smart kid.
It's the dark one. Okay, my snacks for the day.
Okay.
Are going here. I am once again on my Japan train and have my potato salad flavored potato sticks, but I also have from Japan macadamia like a kind of like a scorched almond, but it's with macadamias instead. They are phenomenal.
I love macadamia, so that would be so
Me
yum.
too.
Okay, Bridgerton news. Yes, season 4 is still upon us, and the news is newsing. We have Yaren and Luke have traveled to Toronto. They are currently doing press and the part of the world tour that is Toronto, Canada. I saw that. And we also, for anyone who's watched the first half, I know a lot of our listeners are holding off or doing one episode at a time. But at the end of episode 4, we did get a sneak peek for the second half. And there was a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna put this out there in my Bridgerton news as a prediction because I talked about it in the watch party yesterday. So I want to make it public because I was right about Benedict being the diamond. So let's see if I'm right with this one. I wager that we do not necessarily see Benedict recognize Sophie because she puts on a mask to play blind man's buff like in the book. I think Hyacinth is having a dance lesson and Benedict is her partner helping to teach her. And he ends up trying to dance with Sophie and that feeling, because remember in the first dance, he said, "Oh, you're dancing with your eyes closed." And she said, "I'm trying to remember all parts of this so I can revisit it later." So I think that moment for the both of them is burned in their memory, how it felt, how they smelled, everything. So when he attempts to dance with her and she agrees to dance because she doesn't want to cause a scene, that's when he recognizes her because she feels the same, because she smells the same. So that's my prediction because we got a still of Benedict doing dance lessons with Hyacinth.
Yes. Other major things that we have heard from the press tour interviews, from the little snippets, we are getting more carriage scenes. We are getting way more spicy scenes from Sophie and Benedict in part 2. We have Johnny Bailey and Simone Ashley returning with their little baby.
Yep, in the teaser we saw their baby, which all we've heard is it's the heir. I'm not sure if the Bridgertons know, and it's really hard for me to tell if it is the heir or if it's a daughter. So we'll see.
We were predicting daughter.
We were predicting daughter. And the images, like you can tell that Colin and Penelope's child is a boy. They kept the hair short, but it's very hard to tell with Canthony's baby. And either way, it's a gorgeous baby. Can we just say that was a cute baby?
I love a chubby baby. Mm-hmm. Chubby baby. On that news, not shout out, pour one out. Pour one out for Catherine O'Hara, who I'm sure touched so many of our lives, being the mum in Home Alone, which I only just found out.
It's not Bridgerton news, but it's our fandom news because we both love Schitt's Creek.
Yes, and I'm sure you've heard us make like references to David. And I love that in the new season 4, we have Alfie, who has an accent that just gives me the same little happy vibes. Alfie, sad Sophie.
Sad Sophie.
I get Moira vibes and it makes me smile. So thank you, Bridgerton, for giving
Not that he's doing an accent necessarily, but it makes me think of Moira Rose if she did Bridgerton.
Yes, it makes me happy. It gives me her vibes. Yes. And so I'm glad that her legacy of accents is going to live on in a sad time. So shout out to Catherine O'Hara. Thank you for bringing us so many happy times over the years in your various projects.
You were an icon for my whole generation. We grew up with you with Home Alone and various other projects you did in the 80s. And then you were in Beetlejuice and you were Moira Rose. Like you and one of my favorite characters she ever did she was in all those David Guest movies. So Best in Show. And she's played, what is the actor who is her husband in Schitt's Creek? His name just escaped me. I don't hear you at all.
Eugene.
Yeah, Eugene Levy. So she's played his wife in multiple projects, and she was his wife, I believe, in Best in Show. And then there was another one that was about a folk radio station. I can't remember the name of that one right offhand, but I love those movies. They're so like David Guest is dry humor, like saying the line straight, but it's just hilarious. Like one of the best scenes, and they showed it in her tributes when they were talking about her, was Eugene Levy talking about how popular she was back in the day, that she had quite a few boyfriends, like she had several boyfriends, and she goes, "Yeah, 100." And he's like, "Hundreds?" And she's like, I love her.
How very
She has
Elizabeth
brought
Taylor of you.
yeah, she has brought so much joy to my life, and she will be missed. Speaking of speaking of sad, we also saw in the teaser the entire Bridgerton family wearing black. So we're definitely having a death in the second half.
Our predictions are potentially three, which will be Marina, John, and just George.
Yeah.
And
Marina has to go if
Marina
Eloise
has to
is
go.
going to be.
Yeah. Get out.
I don't mean it like that, but because of the storyline, Marina has to go.
You
And they're
heard it
doing
here.
so many.
You heard it here first, folks. Patty pushed Marina into the lake.
They're doing so many water references that because Marina drowns in the book. So they're doing so many water references that I think that might be a thing.
Jesus, they clearly are trying to make me lose weight because I can't even get into these chocolates. Give me, give me more. I mean, it has instructions, but they're in Japanese.
That would have been a great song for season 4. Why didn't we get that?
Yeah.
Give me a man after midnight. That would have been great because Benedict's always going out after midnight and not waking up till afternoon.
Yeah, actually.
So is there any other Bridgerton news you can think of?
Yes. Well, yes, no. As I said last week, I still want to shout it out again and give him all his accolades. Ollie Higginson who is Footman John. He was amazing in season 4. We got so much content with him. People were like, oh, who is this man? And why are we getting, he's getting so much screen time because he's amazing.
Like,
That's
why are they doing that?
So he has just released a new song under the name Modern Ollie called One of Those Faces. It's super catchy. It's very fun. Go check it out. YouTube, Spotify, wherever.
Yep. Ollie, we like it. It's catchy. It's really good.
Really good.
So, all right. We've procrastinated long enough. Let's get into the sad, schemy, backstabbing drama of the ton. Drama.
Well, before we go there, we get our cute Penelope and Colin moment. And how very scandalous. All of a sudden, you've had a carriage ride and a cheeky mirror scene, and here you are just being scandalous in the middle of the ton, Mrs. Bridgerton. Penelope is just talking about their private dance in the middle of church, in the middle of the ton, for anyone to hear. Scandalous young lady.
Well, she is so used to, and she is still invisible. Like nobody knows she's whistled on yet. So she's used to being able to say whatever she wants. Ooh, I got to do one more sponsor.
I love the stance between Penelope and Colin because you can feel
it's all of them. It's their vibe from start to finish.
You can feel the sexual tension radiating off of these two. Like they cannot wait to be married because like they are very much in their honeymoon phase where everything feels fun and flirty and like it's almost like foreplay leading up to, like, they are very, for those who think that like Penelope is below Colin or Colin's out of her league or whatever, this man is a wanton for his wife. Well, not yet to be wife. Like he is infatuated with every inch of her and he is so obsessed that he finally gets to display that he is earning the rules of the ton.
He is trying to draw attention to his bride. The twirl of the dance going outside of the dance is very, first of all, very Colin, like season 1, he likes to make things interesting according to Daphne. But now he's doing it with a very willing audience. Penelope loves when he's impulsive in the best ways. And so like she just giggles and enjoys it, but his whole sole purpose is to draw attention to them because he is happy as all get out.
Well, and because Penelope knows that she's invisible, so she knows that they can get away with so much in the ton because no one notices her. And now that Colin is engaged to Penelope, people don't really notice him either because like he's no longer an eligible bachelor. I don't know why I said it that way. I had chocolate in my mouth. Apologies for my pronunciation.
Right. Like he thinks because he's a Bridgerton, he's drawing attention to her, but in all reality, he's become invisible because he's standing next to her.
Though who touches the cloak of invisibility will become invisible themselves.
I was like, she's a black hole. You'll get sucked in. No one will see you.
He is very attracted to her gravitational pull.
Yes, he is.
This is when the Cowpers enter the ball, with Cressida in her possibly most, not possibly, definitely, her most scandalous and outlandish outfit yet.
Yeah.
I use this term.
I want to talk about her hair.
I use this term, but it is not a reflection of her. I feel it's just something, a term that was used throughout history. Hoar red is the distinct
I have harlot
color.
red. I wrote down harlot red. Yes.
So, guys, this is one of those times where I say, like, we're so on tune.
Yep. She is in harlot red, a huge bow like a butterfly.
A huge bow, which gives the appearance of huge shoulders, is what I wrote.
I have a huge bow like a butterfly because she's really trying to be the face of Whistledown. Like we've always, the Featheringtons are the butterfly, and so butterflies being used as a symbol throughout the season. And I've always said, whatever character is wearing a butterfly is pushing the story, like making the story move forward. And Cressida is now one huge red harlot butterfly. But I have to talk about her hair because she had to steel herself to be able to do tonight. I want to know about the conversation at home with Lord Cowper because he can't go to his club. So he would have known his wife and his daughter were dressing up for a party they were not invited to. I want to know what kind of
I think he was in his study and had no idea.
Snuck out?
He was off riding to his sister, being like, "We need to give this girl some sheep.
This girl,
we need to socialize her with some sheep, make her a little bit more boring."
But Cressida's hair just reminds me, like, have you ever seen the show BattleBots? Like, it's a show where people build robots and they fight each other.
Ezra and Stephen watch it.
Yeah, so there's a BattleBot that has like for arms and stuff. Like it has circular saws.
Tell me you have little nephews without telling me you have little nephews,
dude. I like BattleBots. I wanted to be that kid in 6th grade that got to build stuff, but I didn't get to because I was a girl. I'm in Gen X. All the boys got to do it, but not me. I did build a mousetrap car in class, but I didn't get but yeah, her hair reminds me of the BattleBots robot. If anyone remembers this BattleBots robot, it had arms that had circular saws and it would bring the saw down and it would cut the other ones, but it also had a circular saw in the front. So when it rammed them, it hit them with the circular saw. That's what her hair reminds me of. It's like 3 or 4 circular saws just sticking out of her head.
She's trying to cut through the bullshit.
She's a BattleBot. She's going into battle. She has no idea what she's doing. She really is.
Everyone is shocked and scandalized that she would show up. And I don't really know why. Kind of like Penelope and Colin and everyone kind of scampers off the dance floor at their approach. Like they're acting like the big bad guy of an old Western is here for a shoot off. Like everyone's like, get out of the way. The guns are blazing.
They really are. And everybody is looking scandalized.
Like, all I needed is Colin in
the one mama does the sign of the devil and everything. Like I was waiting to hear the whistle like with the tumbleweeds. Like no, right I needed the shootout happens.
I needed Cressida to be wearing the little star on the back of the boots with the little old Western, like chink, chink, chink. Except instead of pulling out guns, she's pulling out the whistle downs. Shots
she's
fired.
Walking through
Shots do get fired. To be
Shots
fair,
fired.
But I love that. Like everyone scampers off the floor. Everyone's scandalized. Everyone's like, we don't want to get caught in the crossfire. And Colin puts a protective arm around Penelope. Like, you've done enough harm to her. You will not hurt my Penelope again.
Yeah. He's like, I'll make sure our evening doesn't get...
But I love that he actually, like, even though he wasn't supposed to touch her, he put, like, it's his natural instinct to protect her. And that's what he says, like, what is my purpose if not to protect you? Like, which I can still understand. Yeah. And it's not through physical protection, but like if he's not even informed of what's going on in her life, he can't even discuss it with her. Like she's not even taking him into account, which is, I think, what hurts.
And I think that's why he got so upset, honestly, because he is trying to
throw my whole mic.
I spilled chili down my shirt.
We're quite the pair.
He's trying his hardest to protect her. He thought he knew what he was protecting her from, only to find out He needed to be
From
protecting her
herself.
from herself.
Mm,
Like you can't protect somebody that's running into the fire, you know?
yes. Cressida is like lapping up this attention, which is kind of interesting because when it
No,
actually comes,
Cressida is scared, but she's mirroring her mother
she's
because
like,
her mother,
uh, uh,
yeah, her
strut
her
your stuff.
mother
You're a
her mother
star.
is head held high. We're not going to let anyone know, like, because they are the sweep it under the rug family. Nobody
Yeah.
has any idea what goes on at home.
Yeah.
They put on their brave face out in public, and that's what her
Mhm.
mom's doing. So that's what she's doing. And she's scared.
I
She literally doesn't know what to do, and she's just following her mother's lead.
I cackle at Mr. Wells' sign language, calling her evil, like, or the devil,
He's a demon. Yeah.
like
Does the
the
sign of the
face she
devil.
pulls, like, bye, devil, like, out with you. Like, it was
All we needed was like a Greek person, like decidedly Greek or something, to do the
yeah, and make the sign for the evil
yeah,
eye.
that would have been.
Most of them wear the evil eye necklace. But what sort of surprised me by that is she's calling Lady Whistledown evil, right? Or is she actually
Mhm.
calling Cressida evil? Because Lady Whistledown spoke highly of her daughter in this season when she came out. She spoke her up. Hey, Mr. Wells, a great catch of the season. And her daughter was so excited that Lady Whistledown was talking about her in a kind
Right.
manner, saying, hey, this is an up and coming. Go check her out. Like,
I think it was a reaction to the red because nobody wears red like that. Danbury
mhm.
wears burgundy, a deeper red. Nobody wears harlot red.
Well,
So she walks in wearing harlot red. And just like Lord Cho says a few minutes later, I don't like Cressida,
that's
but she is a good writer as Lady Whistledown.
that's
Trying to reconcile that she is Whistledown, people are
mm.
like, man, I hated that girl. Why is she Whistledown? You know what I mean?
Well, that's exactly what I wrote. I said, I wonder if it is just because Cressida's reputation as a mean girl precedes her, that even though Mr. Well may have been for Lady Whistledown, if Lady Whistledown is Cressida, then she's like, you're evil.
Yeah.
Like, there's no amount of good that Lady Whistledown could write about my daughter to overcome you.
What she's written about other people.
Yeah. Portia's line. I think this is just the writers having a good laugh, like saying, a scandal writer for a daughter. Can you imagine? Like, I can imagine the writer's room was like cackling at their own hilarity in this one.
Yes, and the look on her face when she walks away, briefly, I remember the first time I saw it, I was
Mhm.
like, has she figured it out? Because she looks so smug in that moment. But Lady Cowper has been negging her
Mhm.
and putting her down and is like a frenemy more than a friend
Mhm.
since season one. So I think she is just gleeful that she finally has something over Lady Cowper.
Season 1, Lady Cowper, her daughter was being courted by the prince. That puts her up in higher standing already. Even if he didn't
No, I
fulfill.
mean, even before that, when she's at the Featheringtons' home and she's like, oh, you shouldn't have all four girls
But
out, like
I'm
telling her
establishing,
she's not up to it.
but I'm like establishing the hierarchy. So like already season one, the prince was courting her. Her daughters had
Yeah.
no viable interest. Season two, Portia was attached to scandal that affected the Cowper family, that lowered their standing again. And the whole Marina scandal, and then being turned away from events and things like that. So the Cowpers are like, well, you're below us now. Like, you were already at the bottom of the barrel, but now you are below worth our time. And so I think Portia, because she's such a narcissist, is like, oh, welcome to
Lady
the
Cowper quit.
welcome to the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, Lady Cowper has not come to the house since after the Marina.
No. So I think that Portia is just relishing in her frenemy's downfall. I don't even think it's frenemy anymore. I think it's just enemy.
Yeah.
As you have said in the past, but we are actually at that point now. Lady D's face does not believe it for a second. Like,
No.
she ain't even playing here. She's like, I'll let you have your fun with the queen. The queen will have her fun with you. But like, I don't believe it for a second. Which is why she doesn't even bother to go and chaperone the interaction. Like, if it was Penelope, she would have been there in a heartbeat to kind of help.
She'd want to hear, like, she doesn't even need to hear what the queen says to her.
She's the hand that turns the neck of the queen.
Yeah, she is so sure. And the queen does. The queen totally takes the wind out of their sails until the Whistledown comes in the room. So
yeah.
she knows the queen is going to tear her down and she doesn't need to be there.
Well, and we see that because the queen is like, I don't believe this for a second, but I'm a mess with her a little. I'm
I'm going to let her squirm, yeah.
the cat is going to play with its mouse for a little bit first. And I think that Colin is kind of treating this. You know how we said that Alice was like, oh, this engagement party 2.0. I think Colin's treating it as that as well because he says, I will not let her ruin our night, like as if it's like just for them and the dancing and all that they missed out on at their own party. Like, why was there no dancing at their own party? It's what Happy Colin does. Like, Kate,
there was
Happy
never
Colin
time.
dances.
But the engagement party that Kate threw also included Kate's insecurities. Would people accept her as the Viscountess because of where she came from? So it was downplayed. But she also did that for Penelope because she knew Penelope wouldn't want to be the center of attention. But Alice is throwing the same party, but in the opposite way. Let's crowd the room with people, kind of like going into New York City. I say this every time about my first experience in New York City. I remember sitting on a bench in Central Park, outside Central Park with Smaug. I'm like, I love it here. Could I live here? No, but I love it here.
Sitting in a tree.
No, we were sitting in a park bench.
Same.
There are so many people in New York City that I'm inconspicuous, and I'd never felt inconspicuous because of my weight and stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't feel like all eyes are on me here. It's so many people. I'm finally invisible, and in a good way though, not like I'm just not conspicuous. So like in most situations, small, I feel like a bull in a china shop, but in New York, I felt comfortable, like I could just chill. And I think that's the same way that how Alice treated Penn's introversion is like, I'm just going to crowd people in, and they're not everybody's watching the dance floor. There's only a few people dancing. So it still feels like they're the central couple.
Yeah.
But there's so many people there. They have their own lives to live, their own gossip to tell, that they're not just paying attention to Penn.
Everyone kind of goes back to the dancers and ignoring Cressida, which you can tell makes her nervous because she's like, all eyes are on me. Like, I'm going to do the thing. Yep. And when eyes are on her,
and this is what happens when society ostracizes you. Remember this for season 4.
But when all eyes are on her, it sort of forces the queen to acknowledge or do something with it at some point, right? But when all people are now, okay, we've had our moment of interest. It wasn't interesting. We're going back to doing what we're doing. And so that's when you can see, oh shit, did I do something wrong? Like you can see how kind of internally panicked, like I did a misstep here.
Like I had this major entrance and nothing happened. How did I flub it up? Yeah.
Yes. And the Prissy Mamas are like now discussing, do we take our daughters home or do we watch the drama unfurl? These women really have no care whose party they ruin. Like Cressida and Araminta have crashed a brand new party. Like this is Alice and Will's first time hosting. Cressida ruined.
This tells me how Lady Cowper. Yeah. This tells me how Lady Cowper feels about the Montriches. She does not respect them. You do not enter a party you were not invited to, right? But she felt perfectly fine walking into this party, this ball, uninvited. She does not go up to the host because you're supposed to be greeted. She doesn't go up to the host at all. And she waits for the queen to summon her at the opposite side of the room of where the hosts are. She walks away from the host. She's basically telling the whole room, I deserve to be here. They're lower than me. Like, it just shows Lady Cowper's disrespect for the Mondriches in general because of their background.
Like, they want to sit there and judge Portia for being garish and outlandish and all those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that they are. The only difference is that Lord Cowper is far more refined than Arch, I would say. And not in a good way. Both of them were in their own crappy ways, but like at least he's not out there gambling.
The Cowpers have hidden it up to this point. They have really good masks and they care about their reputation. So they're still crappy people. They just don't let the ton see that. Not truly.
Yes.
Not in full form.
But yeah, this is the second party in a row that Cressida has ruined that has directly affected Penelope and Colin, which just makes me
Mm-hmm.
bitter because then the Queen comes, like they cannot catch a break. Miss Emma Kenworthy, being the Queen that she is, talks about how much she loves Lady Whistledown. And I love that even though Cressida, we know that she does not like Cressida, but she
Right.
respects Lady Whistledown enough to still be a girl's girl and talk her up. And Lord Cho
And I
agrees.
just want to say, like, pause for effect. This is my favorite Emma Kenworthy dress of the entire season. That deep,
She's
beautiful
incredible.
purple. She is a queen. She is regal. And Lord Cho actually is walking her around on his arm. Like he is definitely former rake reformed. I think she whipped him into shape.
Well,
Yeah.
and because kind of taking this moment and then going into four, I think that they've been doing Michaela a real disservice with her outfit choices thus far. They've tried to make her too masculine, but not in a Lady Danbury way. Like the outfit that
Yeah.
they have her arriving in season four wears her rather than the other way around. Like they
Mm-hmm.
brought in some of the cultural elements into the material, but it was just, it was too big. It
Yeah.
wore her, and she's gorgeous. She is
Yeah.
absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And in season three, when she turns up, you can see she's gorgeous. What are we doing in season four? Can we please like dress
There is a
her
fear
appropriately?
amongst the fandom. I saw a TikTok. This one I did not screenshot to get the TikToker's name, but amongst the fans of color, they are concerned that they're just going to, even though it's obvious Michaela and Francesca are both femmes, they're very feminine. If they're, we're going the lesbian route, they're both femmes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of them is truly a masculine, but they are playing Michaela off as masculine. And that's going there. There's already a stigma in the world for Black women of being, masculine, and to be strong, you have to be masculine. And, and they're the.
See, it's so funny because different countries' perceptions, because to me, my perception of what I have seen of Black women is they are incredible at doing their hair. They have incredible fashion. Like that is my perception of what I see being in New Zealand, where
Yeah.
there is not much of a Black population, but of the women that I have met are very, very put together and gorgeous.
Right. And the thing is though, is that there are strong Black women, but they are always stigmatized as being masculine and
Yeah.
being more men than men are. And they're hoping they're not going to do that stereotype with Michaela, because that is typical. When you have a powerful Black woman in a show, she gets masculinized.
A little bit like Kate, but then I think they really softened her up. Oh, 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 oh. That was one thing that I wanted for part two of season four.
That video's over.
I know. I just remembered it. It was a big thing too, because they were talking about how they brought in the Korean elements, and now that
Yep.
Kate
Tell
and
tell our
Anthony,
listeners they'll get this extra.
extra, hear all about it. I really want, because Kate and Anthony are now returning from India. I was watching a historian talk about the different outfits and how they all fit into history and whatnot. And they said a very, very big influence of clothing in 1815, 1817, in that time period was Indian print. So
Yep.
I desperately want to see Kate returning with a whole new wardrobe with saris in
I
her
want to see
fashion.
Anthony wearing
I would
Indian
love
garb.
both of them, but I want to
Yeah.
see them return, and I want them to come and gift the family some of these outfits, or like to bring in some of these elements, because it was traditional in that time period for Indian influence in clothing. So Indian outfits are some of the most beautiful in the world. I think their wedding dresses are spectacular, and they just go so much above and beyond. Like just
Well, and while we're
traditional.
at it, while we're talking this extra part that's not going to be in our video, I like the fact I
What do you
know
mean it's not
people are
going to be?
complaining.
I'm leaving it in here. I'm not chopping and
No, in the
yeah,
podcast, I'm saying we
yeah,
put that
yeah,
other video to bed, so it's not there.
yeah,
Only our podcast listeners are getting it.
yeah.
But I know people are upset that Anthony was not in the first half, but this is the first time I really see Bridgerton following the timing of the time period.
Yes.
They would not be back yet. It would
Yes.
take at best 3 months to get to India
They heard our
by
mockery
boat.
over Colin's
Yeah, for real.
boat
It would
hopping.
take them 3 months to get there. She would have to have the baby, and the baby would have to be old enough where they wouldn't be worried about it dying of malnutrition,
Like a minimum
and all of
6
that
months.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I think they would have waited until the baby is closer to 18 months, which we've now had the
The
fast forward
baby,
to the end of the season.
the
And we're
baby looked
probably going to
more.
go through the winter.
The baby looked more appropriately aged than Polin's baby did. Because keep in mind that Kate and Anthony were pregnant far before Polin were. So there should have been a decent sized age gap between the babies, but Polin's baby actually looks older or of similar age.
Yeah, it looks, well, she was pregnant when they announced their engagement. They literally got pregnant the next day. She just realized she was pregnant, so she was at least 2 months along. So their babies were probably born 2 months apart.
I would have said she was a bit further. Well, maybe.
Well, no, she would have missed her courses usually the first time, because of when you get pregnant, you don't really think about the first time you miss them. It's usually the second time back then that they would have noticed. And she would have been about 2 to 3 months in at that point. And they were watching for it. They wanted it so bad.
Yes. Lord Tro, going way, way back. So Emma is talking about how much she loves Lady Whistledown, and Lord Tro agrees that he hates Cressida, the woman, but adores Lady Whistledown, which I think is a really good indicator of Cressida's eligibility on the ton, if this is how a lord is speaking about her so openly.
Yes, this says why Cressida has not found a match.
Because it is clear, not that I'm saying that Lord Tro's opinion is the be-all, end-all of opinions on women of the ton, but clearly he's got good taste. He approached Penelope at some point, and now...
We know that there is a specific group of lords that are all friends with each other, and Cho was part of that group. So that is a large group of men.
A big, yeah.
And the Cowpers were very specific up until this season about who Cressida was allowed to potentially pursue or have court her.
Yes.
And if these guys who are not super eligible were like, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Like, I think her one and only true chance was stolen from her by Daphne with the prince. Because notice, the prince didn't revisit her after Daphne got with Simon.
Yes.
Debling did not revisit her after Penn and Colin got together. Her personality is the issue.
Yes. This is when Colin confesses to Penelope that he has been editing travel diary into a manuscript. Can I just talk about the fact that we knew that Penelope was a wanton from the very beginning, because he tells her that he's still removing the more delicate parts, and Penelope's like,
personal.
Those are the best bits. You just know that 2026 Penelope would absolutely be a great lover.
Well, and that's the thing, like, what we know she read was pretty tame and far, in terms of personal parts, but we know what was on the next page. Yeah. So I think this is mixed communication. I think she thinks it's all just touching of the cheek and how the moonlight touches the skin. And he's like, this girl likes when I talk about playing another woman like an instrument. Dang. Those will just be for you, my love.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play you like an instrument later.
This one time at band camp. Oh man, that would be taking the Smythe Smith quartet to a whole different level.
Whole new level. Whole new level.
A whole new world. How many pop culture references can I make within one sentence? Too many.
You can do it.
I'll have what she's having. Penn asks if she can.
We've gone off the rails, guys.
We were never on the rails. Choo choo. We're definitely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Penelope asks Colin if she can edit them for him, because she she likes writing letters to you, of course. Just letters, nothing else, nothing of interest. Mm-hmm. Like, I love when she's like, "Oh, I like writing letters."
And I just want to say, reason number 475.
I like writing the letter A.
Colin should have figured it out.
I like the letter B. I like the letter C the most because you start with C. I like letters. Okay,
because
Penelope.
at the beginning of this episode, she went lettuce, and then now she's like, I so love writing lettuce. Like, she says it the same way. Like, it's obvious she's covering something.
I like the letter D because it represents you so well. I like
the letters B, D, E.
I like the letters P because I'm all about a pinnacle. Oh, okay, I'm gonna stop now.
Come and meet the letter people. Come and visit the family.
Um, we've talked about this before, but we believe that the reason that Colin turns her down is because he wants to present to her a finished product. Like he very much, and he even says it, and it breaks my heart when he says this. I want to be worthy of you, Pen.
Yes.
For all the naysayers, I want to be worthy of you. He does
This
not
is his
feel
insecurity
worthy,
talking.
even at present. He is engaged to her, and he still does not think that he deserves this wonderful, fabulous, most eligible woman on the ton.
Which is
Beautiful
why he
queen.
rushed. He compromised her on purpose. That was his plan.
Ow.
He didn't want her taken away from him by Anthony, by Portia. He doesn't feel like he deserves her.
Well, you think Antony's going to take a second wife?
No, I think Anthony, he believes cheeky. Anthony would have been like, not that family. Because, okay, season 4, first half reference. Sorry, guys. Close your ears. Spoilers. When Benedict was like, no, it wasn't Miss Lee. And
it's just like,
and Portia was like, oh, good.
And she looked embarrassed by herself as if she cannot be that. And this is the part. Cho openly bad-mouthing a eligible woman of the ton. We saw how it affected Penelope in season 2 to be put down by an eligible. I mean, yes, he has already had the band's reading, but I still count him as eligible technically until they are married. He is an eligible bachelor of the ton, putting down a debutante, saying she's awful. Like, you are ruining her marriageable, because if other men of the ton hear that, they're like, oh, well, I can't associate myself with them, because then the guys at the Gentleman Club won't accept me. They'll be talking about me behind my back, as they are doing her now. If they talk about you badly in public, imagine what they say in private, because Violet won't even let her say it, won't let herself say it in private.
Well, right. And the whole of the first half of season 4, Penelope is like, but I can't say this. I can't say the costume she was wearing, because I'm sure more than I saw you.
Yeah.
And it will ruin her reputation.
Yeah.
Like, there's things she's purposely keeping out of Whistledown to protect debutantes now, to protect women. And that is her major growth. Like, she doesn't have to use Whistledown anymore. Like, she doesn't care. I don't want to say she doesn't. She's not concerned about putting out enough gossip to keep her readers. Her readership is there. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's making the same amount of money every issue, pretty much. She's got a pretty steady business. So
I would actually say that she has more readers now that they know who it is.
Oh, yeah. Because they're looking for themselves in there.
No,
because I was at a party with her.
No, because they are going to her house to give gossip. And they will be going to Lady Whistledown
to buy it, to see if it gets in there.
Did she put my news in there? Did I make the cut? Was I popular enough with her to make the cut into Lady Whistledown? Right. I was the source for that one, and they can go tell all their girlfriends I was the source for that. Like, it's going to become like a thing to brag about. So that's, I think it's going to be even more.
Right.
And she's writing a lot more. I think it's like a daily thing now, with how the passage of time showed like how busy she.
Well, I think it was more for the Queen. I don't think every visit she had with the Queen was small bouts of gossip, because I'm assuming she met with her more than just the one time. But I think she still put out the same amount of Whistledowns. I think it was 2 to 3 a week.
Oh, God damn it, I forgot the other part that I wanted to go in.
There's a lot we want to see in the second half. That's all we're going to say.
Well, no, the fact it's already been gone. The fact that the Queen championed Benedict as her diamond of the season, and they did nothing with it, didn't make any plot point. It was just a throwaway comment that then came to nothing.
I don't think it was a throwaway comment. I think her argument with Danbury put her into a depression, and she became lethargic and just not necessarily no will to live.
They just didn't need to make it a huge thing of the episode if they weren't going to do anything with it, you know?
I think the whole thing was that the Queen was wagering Whistledown to have a game, to have like chess. She doesn't feel like Penn is worthy of coming to her house to play chess with her, but she can play chess in a different way.
Yeah. I actually think that Penn would be a master at chess pest.
I'd love to see it.
Be a great battle. I also have thoughts and questions, but I'll save them for after.
Okay.
The Queen finally summoned Miss Cowper, and I really feel for Penelope here, because they really.
Francesca, this is what you do. You wait for the Queen to summon you.
Do not go to the Queen. You know how fickle she is. Like, she may not be offing their heads, but like, she's certainly
No, and that is why she totally blew off the Mondriches. They approached her.
Yes.
Her whole persona is, do not come to me. I will come to you. I will summon you. And so when you come to her, that's exactly what would have happened to Violet and Francesca. is what happened to the Mondriches.
I
She
think
wouldn't even acknowledge
and you know
them.
what? I think the only people we ever actually see her actively approach herself is Eloise to find out why haven't you got me any news? She didn't even summon
Yeah.
Eloise. She went to her. She's like, I can't even wait for Brimsley. Like, get out of my way,
She was
Brimsley.
like she was like a mob boss. She pulled up to her
Yeah.
house and said, "Get in."
Get in, loser. We're going shopping. Today's just going to be the culture reference.
Yeah.
I felt for Penelope here because they're really building up to the end of this episode being what
Hmm.
it is. Because Colin says it may finally be time for Lady Whistledown to meet her consequences. Well, yes, she is definitely about to, but not at the hands of the Queen, sir.
No.
The Queen gives Miss Cowper the stiffest of burns by saying,
Oh.
basically, she insinuated that Cressida is stupid because when she said she did not wish to see Cressida in her court, she meant in the ton at all. But she's like, "Are you stupid, my dear?" Like, she may not have
And
said
she
the
was like,
words,
"Were
but
you
it was
even
implied.
invited to this party?" And Cressida's like, "No." And that's where we need to know. Like, she followed her mom there. She was following her mother's lead. Her mother saw no issue with crashing this party she was not invited to because her mother has no respect for the Mondriches.
Do you see? Did you
And her
see?
mother, I think they went there to see the spectacle of Whistledown being distributed. I don't think they believed the Queen would grace the Mondriches party because of who they were. I think the Queen was an icing on their cake also, but
Yeah.
also like, oops, this
Did you
sucks.
notice that the Queen actually had one of her very rare human moments? Because Cressida looks like when she said, "No, I was not invited," Cressida looks scared.
Mhm.
And there's a moment that you can see on the Queen's face that she realizes that Cressida is just a kid. And you can see that she kind of like, she pauses and
Yeah.
takes a breath, like, calm down, just a kid. Like,
Yeah,
this
and
is
her mother
Araminta's
is putting
problem.
her before,
Yes.
like, it's sending her little pig to slaughter.
Yes, and I think that she did have that realization that Cressida is just what, like, just.
A
I mean,
product of
as you
her
said,
environment.
Araminta had ink all over her arms. She can tell that Cressida is just another. Not that Cressida was a patsy, because it was her idea to start, but she is just working on the orders of her mum at this point, who's trying to salvage
She's
their
living
name.
under the roof of her parents. Her parents, I'm sure the Queen knows the Cowpers
Yeah.
and knows how they are.
Yes. Well,
So
I mean,
she,
the Queen did not want her nephew marrying Cressida, like, because otherwise she
right.
would have said, "Well, there was always that Cowper girl." Like, she didn't say that when Daphne rejected him. It was like, "Well, there's no one here for you now. Off you go."
Yeah.
Otherwise, she would have said, "Oh, well, you did really like that girl. Like, I guess you can marry her."
Yeah, that's
But
what I'm saying. Like,
I do think that the Queen kind of had one of those moments where she realized, "I'm just again standing in front of saying she's Lady Whistledown."
but I'm really not.
I know.
And
um,
I think the Queen knows she's not. I think the Queen truly knows Cressida is not Whistledown. But now we've had two interactions with her where her mother is present, standing back. Like, I think she thinks her mother is orchestrating this. So she gives Cressida a little bit of grace. Like, she sees that the true bad guy is her mother. Not that she knew she wrote the Whistledown that comes out, but that she feels like her mother is putting her up to this, probably for the money, because the Cowpers were part of the scheme and had lost some of their money to the fraud scheme. And I think that's well known. I think she thinks that Araminta put Cressida up to it to try and get that money.
Yeah. So Cressida then tries to kind of get back some of her fire, steals herself, and tells the Queen that she has brought her a gift before flooding the room with Lady Whistledown articles, and everyone flocked to read them as if their lives aren't worth living.
There's a
Oh,
couple of sentences.
why is.
Those Whistledown articles are a trifold pamphlet full of words. This is a little postcard
Yes.
that's just a, hey, I've been taking a respite. I'm back now, though. And by
But
the way,
like,
my name is Cressida. That's basically all it says.
this is a bunch of addicts in a room together because they are flocking for those articles like their lives depend on them. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I've got to inject my new dose. Like, oh,
Right.
got my fix.
They've been gossip deprived for a few weeks now, so.
Penelope tries to run to grab one, but she is so tiny that she just gets lost in the crowd. I'm just like, run, little mousey, run. She's so small.
And I just want to point out, like, everybody is enthusiastically grabbing for these whistle downs except for Alice Mondrick.
Yes.
She looks perturbed. She's like, why?
I just planned an event that was not bad. And now you have ruined it, which is really funny because she thinks it's been ruined, but the queen is like, finally, something interesting is happening. And so she's going to remember that event as something interesting. Like, to Alice, it's a failure. To the queen, she's like, you went from not bad to not meh.
What did she say to Brimsley? This is the most entertaining, interesting or entertaining event that I've been to this season or something like that.
Better than meh was.
Better than meh.
Better than meh. Pop culture references everywhere.
Oh, I'm going to let Smaug know he's pop culture.
Yeah. I really love the Met better than Met.
Me too.
The queen decides that she is worthy of playing with further, as she didn't think that Cressida would be ballsy enough to actually produce anything. No, it's not a article, but it's something. And she's like, okay, I see you're here to play. This is getting a little bit more interesting now. Like, she doesn't believe it for a second, but she's like, I'm willing to play along because it's interesting. It's filling my time.
Yeah, well, I think this is... I see what you did here, but this isn't enough to get 5,000 pounds. I'm
very well aware it's not you, but I kind of want to see what you will produce under pressure.
This is, and that's the thing. This is something that almost anybody in that room could have produced. Truly.
Yes. Yeah. And
so,
I mean, the fact that it sounds like it was written by a school child, I'm like,
well, no, it sounds like Whistledown. But you can tell that they took actual sentences from previous Whistledowns and pieced them together like a puzzle. You know,
it didn't sound like Whistledown at all to me. It didn't have any of the finesse. It didn't have any of the barb. It didn't even say dearest gentle readers. It was just dearest readers or something like.
Yeah, it didn't have the full embodiment of Whistledown because it wasn't. It was somebody who was.
She put it into AI.
It was somebody who put in a few Whistledowns into ChatGPT and said, "Hey, write me a few sentences introducing myself as Whistledown based on this style of writing." And that's what you get. And so it was somebody who probably still had past copies of Whistledowns. And I'm going to piece together some sentences, but make them sound like now, like what we're going through now. And that's what they did. Mm-hmm. So it's still Whistledown, but it's not.
Yes. Eloise kind of reads it and finds Penelope immediately because they kind of realize what a monster they have unleashed. And I will give Eloise credit to the fact that she takes full responsibility. I have released a monster. Yeah. I did this, not you, Penelope.
Well, no, she said we created the monster.
But then she said, I did this.
Yeah, I was reckless. Yeah.
I was reckless. I pushed you to allow her to take this, and I pissed her off. The worst combination you could possibly do. But Eloise admits it's her fault, but as true Eloise fashion, then continues to make it all about her and how it is going to affect her and her loved ones. But like, this is the part that's truly making Eloise upset, I think, because she realizes that she has just insulted and upset Cressida right before granting her power. And Eloise, I think, really overlooked Cressida's intelligence. And now she's realizing that her spite will be directed at Eloise and her family.
Well, and this is the part that still bothers me about Eloise. Even in this moment, she's becoming more self-aware. But when it's Cressida, she can see Whistledown as powerful. She's almost as much power as the queen. But when it's Penelope has to tell her, Whistledown is power. Eloise does not see Penelope as powerful, so she can't see Penelope's Whistledown as powerful.
But isn't it like, it's not just the fact that she befriended Cressida, it's the fact that, I mean, she doesn't know what Cressida is about to write, but it is her worst fears because Cressida is about to write all about her family. And where would Cressida possibly get that information? Oh, that's right. Cressida was at the engagement party in their house, a small soiree where she could have overheard said news. That makes sense. So
she could have outed Violet and Lord Anderson. She could out the fact that Benedict was going around with an older woman.
Yes. So Eloise gave Cressida access to a lot of their inner secrets, things that should only be kept within inner circle. And to her credit, she chose to write something way worse that at least wasn't true, so they could disprove it. But I don't think that was her intention at all. But because I don't think it was Cressida who wrote that at all. It was Araminta, and I think
It
even
was,
Cressida was
yeah,
like,
she had all
"That's
the, and I just think it's funny. It was 2, 3 sentences tops, but Araminta had ink all the way up to her elbow.
it's
Like
like, do you
it
even
was
know how to
difficult
write? Are you
for her
left-handed?"
to write those 3 sentences. Woman, you write responses to balls all the time. Those had to be more than 1 or 2 sentences.
She
Like
would have
we
her servants
regret
do
to.
it. She's above that.
She probably had a secretary.
Yeah.
In Gilded Age, Lady Van Ryn has a secretary who does all of her correspondence. But yeah, like, and I just want to point out, since we've already moved to the room, both when Eloise realizes that the queen wants more, that this is not enough, she immediately starts scanning the room. She clocks where Colin is and then looks for Pen because she wants to make sure they're not together. And then Pen does the same thing when she's looking around. What am I going to do? She clocks where Colin is.
Does
And then
Penelope
she sees
seriously,
Eloise.
does she seriously not think that Colin's going to follow her?
I don't think in that moment. I think she wanted to have a conversation with Eloise without Colin hearing. She was still trying to keep it from him. I think she wanted to tell him after they got married, which would have been terrible, Penelope. How dare you? But I think that they were both trying to make sure they could have a few words without Colin overhearing them. And Eloise started talking in the middle of the room, and Pen's like, no, wait, come with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here again, Colin is right on their heels. He sees them exit the room at the hallway. He follows them immediately. He had to have seen what room they went into. And yet, because they shut the door, he did not knock. He did not enter. King of consent, yes, but he plays later like, I saw you leave a room that Penelope left from, or what. I watched you guys walk into that room.
He
Had to
followed
have seen them.
He went.
He was close. He was not like so far across the room that he couldn't get to them where he would have seen them go in that room.
Like, I personally thought when I was watching it for the first time that Colin
Like,
was
please
going
let
to
the
be
3 of them, yes.
that Colin was going to be outside of the room, was going to hear that whole conversation, and he was going to hear from Eloise, "You are Lady Whistledown," and then him burst through.
Or
Like,
he was going to hear Penn go, I will publish again. And then he bursts in like, you're Whistledown. It should have happened there. And then Eloise could have said, she has to save the family. And he's like, no, I forbid it. And then the fight becomes about the fact that she's still published because he forbade it or
Yes.
whatever. Because it didn't need to be about Whistledown. I mean,
No.
in the end, we know it truly wasn't about Whistledown. It was just like Eloise, where he thought he knew everything about her, but she kept this secret from him all these years.
Yeah.
That's why he was hurt. But still, like,
I
he
think
was right outside that door. There's no way, the way the camera angles were,
he thought that they were a partnership. They were going to be a true partnership, and then to find out that she was doing everything on her own and not even allowing him the chance to help, like, kind of feels like, oh, so you don't respect.
It feels like
my
season
opinion.
1, where he's the one living the life, but his whole family tells him how it's going to play out.
Yeah.
Like, he felt helpless in his own life because Penelope was deciding all the shots. She wasn't acting like a partner. He was, she was not.
Yeah. And I feel like this is kind of a moment, like, Penelope's like, yes, I'm going to write one final article demoting, that's not the word I'm looking for. Not detracting. I know words.
She said the word too.
I know.
Discrediting.
Discrediting. Demoting. I demote you.
I demote you, Cressida. You are not Lady Whistledown.
A mere peasant. Discrediting Cressida. And then we'll go back to her retirement home, where she'll just be a wanton with her husband. No better way to retire, to be honest.
See, I don't think she was going to retire. I think she missed it so much that she wanted to publish
but she
again,
was kind
and
of
this
saying,
was her
like,
in.
I felt like she was saying, like, I'm just going to do one last one, and then I'm going to give it up. She's like an addict herself. They're like,
that's what most addicts say.
Just one more.
Just one more time.
Just one
One
more.
Yeah.
She finally stands up to Eloise. I feel like as you said before, Whistledown isn't just gossip; it is power, and I think that Eloise had overlooked that until she saw the reach of that power and how it had the potential to ruin families when in the wrong hands.
Putting that power in the wrong hands made her see how powerful it was.
Yes, and I think Penelope was incredibly smart to wait for a moment in which she could see it firsthand, how it could affect her. And because I think that this conversation had to happen this way for them to actually have kind of more of an open conversation about what Lady Whistledown was, because beforehand it was all about hiding it from Colin, protecting the family, rah 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 rah, you need to give it up. She wasn't even in an open kind of space to be able to talk about what Whistledown was with Penelope. It was just, you need to do this, you need to give it up, end of
Yeah.
conversation. Whereas this feels a little bit more like, you underestimated. You said it was just gossip. I'm not letting that conversation slide. It is more than just gossip. It is power. It is a legacy that I've created.
But that's the thing too. Like when she had that conversation with Eloise in the bedroom, she had just gotten engaged, right?
Yes.
She still didn't feel like it was real,
Yeah.
and she still was insecure herself. I don't deserve this. What is happening? This is so surreal to me. But here she has basked in Colin's love for weeks now, and she sees how he sees her. So she's learned to stand up for herself. Like she had to stand up to Penelope first. It takes her a little longer to stand up to Colin because I think he's a man, and back then, men just got to the dynamic should have been him the head of the house and her doing what he said.
Men were more fickle, as in not to
he
say
could
men,
he could end the engagement at any time.
Whereas like Eloise, I think she always feels like they may fight, but they're going to come back together. It'll be fine. But if Colin and Penelope fight, it may not ever be fine.
Right. Yeah, but I also think because and plus she has been best friends with Eloise for so long, they know each other, that she knows if she stands up for herself that Eloise will listen. She just has never done it because before I think she was always afraid of losing Eloise's friendship, but then she actually lost her friendship and she realized it didn't kill me. I didn't like not being friends with her, but it didn't destroy me. Now
I was petrified.
So now she's not afraid. If Eloise says, "Hey, I'm done," well, plus they haven't reconciled fully, so she really has nothing to lose, right? So I think it's easier for her to stand up to Eloise because she's like, no, we're not even friends yet. I'm gonna stand up for myself, and if you're gonna be friends with me again, you're gonna be friends with me.
I learned how to get along, but now you're back. It's like that really is the perfect song with these two.
Right.
With that sad look upon your face. It fits the scene. Like I would have hackled. I mean, they couldn't make it into such a comical moment, but like I
wish they'd have made some things more comical. I need to make some sort of
edit to like that over the I'm ridiculous. I'm aware. Moving on. I do also appreciate that Penelope is so thoughtful. Thoughtful is not quite the word, but you'll get what I mean. That she is remembering conversations that she has had with Eloise from 2 years ago to say, yes, I should have been using my voice for those who had none. And because that was a complaint that Eloise had. Like, she has a voice. Why isn't she using it for good? And Penelope took that and then started writing more positively, I would say. Like, it wasn't
about
just
the young ladies.
Gossip.
Yeah.
She started writing about the young ladies and trying to prop up the likes of Miss Stowell, who might otherwise be overlooked in the ton. Miss Emma Kenworthy, who otherwise, as we've seen, curvy was not the beauty standard of the ton
but
in
I don't
their
think,
eyes.
I think curvy is different.
But she was highlighting people who might otherwise be overlooked in the ton, and also people who were kinder.
Emma had a plan. I don't think she needed Whistledown's help. Berrigan needed Whistledown's help.
Yes, but what I'm saying is she was highlighting people in the ton who were maybe nicer girls, people who deserved to have a nice gentleman on their arm, or at least a reformed rate.
She was mentioning girls that she probably would not have normally mentioned because they wouldn't have been newsworthy. These are nice girls. They're your regular debutantes. They're not the Daphne Bridgertons. You know what I mean? Like, but she was giving them a spotlight.
Yes. So I think that Penelope was kind of underselling what she has done with Whistledown. Like, I should have done more with it, but like actually she did a lot with it. And Eloise finally agrees.
She does that. That's the thing with Eloise's friendship that she needs to work on is she downplays things to protect Eloise's feelings, like to placate her, like even downplaying her relationship with Colin later. But like,
honestly, that was probably the worst line in the whole.
Yeah, Eloise needs to, if they're going to be friends, Eloise needs to be friends with the very strong and secure Penelope, like the full-on Penelope, and Penelope need not shrink herself for Eloise's friendship.
You either accept me as I am or not accept me. Eloise agrees that releasing another article is the only way to really stop Cressida at this. But isn't it funny? Do you think that if she did not feel like she was on the chopping block, if she had never befriended Cressida, if there was no connection, do you think she'd still feel this way? Or would she say it's someone else's problem?
I think Eloise would have said problem.
Exactly. It's only when it affects her. She is not truly feminist like she thinks she is. Only when it affects her.
Well, and like I was saying when we were off recording, I don't understand the drama of Eloise's reaction. It's very dramatic because 2.5 sentences were written. That does not tell them if Cressida is going to be able to write a whole whistle down full of gossip. So I don't understand why she's panicking so much and why she thinks Cressida is only going to write about their family. They needed to have some kind of tangible
like a negative
facial
look.
expression or like her seeing Araminta pull up her glove,
Yes.
realizing Araminta wrote it, and then going OMG, like it wasn't Cressida, it was Araminta. Araminta hates my family.
I think it should have been as Araminta and Cressida entered, they should have snubbed Eloise, shoved past, knocked, gave a glare, something to indicate to Eloise, we are pissed at you. You are number one on our chopping block. Like there needed to be something. Otherwise,
or
Eloise
some kind of aside, like
Eloise is just
comment.
reading into something that would never come to fruition, and she's smarter than that. Like,
she could have been triggered. It could have triggered her from the last season, but she knows Penelope wrote all the stuff from the last season.
Yeah,
and we still didn't get I realized you saved my butt last year, you know?
Yeah.
She did admit she was reckless, but she didn't thank her friend for saving her from being extradited to another country or being beheaded, that she merely became a pariah of society for a little while, which is what she wanted anyway.
We're really avoiding, I can't even do it because it's not the same. Sad
we are avoiding it.
How would he do that accent? Sad Colin.
He's not sad in this episode. He's
mad.
I know,
he's but like
sad at the beginning of 7.
Sad Sulfur. Sad Colin.
Yeah, this is where Penelope punks Colin. He is punk.
Penelope rushes to the printers whilst writing her retraction to Cressida's fake paper.
And looking so joyful at finding the right words. Like you can tell she loves writing. There's so much love for what she does in this scene. This one scene alone tells you how much joy she gets from writing Lady Whistledown.
Even in the midst of anxiety and stress and
bouncing around that carriage, like
bouncing about that carriage, and not in the fun kind of way.
In the fun kind of way.
Yeah, maybe she was reminiscing, bouncing about like, oh, this is giving me some memories.
Oh, yeah.
That's the spot. I love her accent when her true accent comes out. It always makes, I do feel like she plays it up a little bit more.
Yeah, she exaggerates it because she's not supposed to be genteel.
Yes. As she hands the papers to the printers, turns and sees.
Hold on, wait, because the printer says anything for Lady Whistledown, and she has tried to pretend to be a maid all this time, but she is so happy that somebody recognizes that she is Whistledown, that she F's up.
Yeah.
And she smiles at him calling her Whistledown. And as much as, I don't necessarily believe the storyline of Cressida just happening to find someone who knew Whistledown was redheaded. I think that this moment really was Penn's downfall in Cressida possibly finding out, because once she gave such a visible response to him calling her Whistledown, then it would have spread all over the printers. They know that this little girl is Whistledown.
For me personally, when he said anything for Lady Whistledown, I think that he just meant
anything for Lady Whistledown, but not her reaction. But her reaction to it tells him she's Whistledown.
Yeah,
she is so happy that somebody acknowledges she's Whistledown, because she hasn't been for weeks.
I'm ripping it off. You are Lady Whistledown. The band-aid ripped off every hair on the way off. It took the scab off. It's bleeding again.
It's like Chugly Girl. Fuck that. Have you watched her do her waxing?
No.
She waxes.
Oh, yes.
She waxes her face on TikTok, And she's always like, fuck it off because it hurts so bad. Like, this is it. We're fucking it off because this is terrible. But I will say, this isn't the bad part. The beginning of 7 is. I can
know.
handle him being mad and going,
No, but I know what's
you
coming.
are Lady Whistledown. Yeah.
Lady Whistledown. Like Penelope looks like she's never been more terrified in her life. Like I think she would prefer face off with the queen.
I think she looks like she's gonna vomit. I think she looks like she's gonna vomit. She's so upset, so scared that she's just gonna puke on his feet.
I'd prefer just the queen than be doing that right now. Like, I ain't here for disappointed, sad Colin. It's gonna break my heart.
Right, but that's the thing. I think that as much as I'm not a fan of the scripting for season 3 and that we didn't get much of the book, I think that because she was going to out herself in the end, having Colin find out when she was trying to keep it from him for so long, and he is the biggest thing she's afraid to lose, right? She's afraid to lose him as a husband and all that. That her getting through this gave her the strength to out herself to the ton. So what? And I'm going to say, like, this sucks. This sucks, listeners. We hate this part. We hate this part. But it's just like real life. You go through something that sucks.
For today, gentle listeners, we will leave it there and continue on next week's episode where we jump to the wedding ceremony.
We will not talk about the first part of the episode.
We're just going to pretend it didn't happen.
Sometimes.
Actually, I need that movie scene.
Yeah. But sometimes we go through something crappy. We go through something horrible, but it gives us the strength, or it gives us the knowledge to be grateful for what we have in the end. And I think this moment gave Penn the strength to realize, if I could face down Colin, knowing I might lose him and not lose him, and he accepted me as Whistledown, I can tell the ton. So,
and that is the thing. Like, I think there's been a lot of those moments in the last 3 seasons that have kind of built them and their relationship to this point. Like, I always say for myself, I never ever regret my first relationship. He was a narcissist. He made me very sick. Like, he was an awful human being, to be honest. And I will never regret it for one day in my life, because it taught me my value and what I was and wasn't willing to accept in a relationship.
Willing to accept, yes.
And it meant that when I met Stephen, I became friends with him. I did not jump into a relationship because I was not ready. And it allowed us the time to build the connection like Penelope and Colin had, in order to be able to really effectively communicate when we did commit to a relationship. And I think that going through season 1, learning how to be friends, and season 1, writing to each other, deepening that bond. Season 2, trying to still form that bond even around Eloise.
Trying to still steal moments alone because Eloise is always there.
Yes. Season 3, learning how to repair from a great slight against Penelope. And slight, a slight is not really the right term, but you know my gist. And it also helped Penelope to bring Colin down to her level instead of constantly putting him on a pedestal. So I think all of these moments, this fight that they're about to have, all of these moments need to happen for them to learn how to effectively communicate, how to resolve issues, how to work as a team, how to learn each other's, not love languages, but like Stephen and I repair in different ways. And so it's about finding a compromise between what each of you need as well, if that makes sense. Like, you have to learn how to fight not fight, but like have disagreements and how to repair from those disagreements together.
Yes. Sorry. So
where's he at?
Still not home. He stopped at McDonald's for food, and he was given a burger with no meat.
So
he's like, I just can't win.
Bun burger.
And he's like, I just can't win today. But this has been his since Friday. Like, he can't get home, and he finally gets home, and now he can't get whatever. Like, dude.
So I think that these fights, as much as we hate being in them, seeing how they repair is also a beautiful thing in itself. But my lord, seeing Penelope in that nightgown and not ravishing your wife is what is it called? Not tree, the fumble of the century, sir. Yeah. Okay, for today, gentle listeners, we will leave it there and continue on next week's episode that I'm so excited for.
David.
David, if you have anything in particular you would like us to cover or any Bridgerton knowledge you would like to share, please head to our Facebook page, The Ladies Bridgerton. And if you are enjoying our podcast, please remember to click like, subscribe, and leave comments wherever you are listening. Additionally, we are going to be continuing with season 3 with a bit of season 4 thrown in for all of our new listeners and those who are excited to hear the new season. We are
Because
excited
we're
for it.
excited too.
We are. We
We're
are.
excited too.
We're in this really, really hard place where we thought the new season wasn't coming out till May. So we had paced
Yeah.
ourselves accordingly. We thought we had another 4 months
2 years. We thought we had 2 full years. Yeah.
So because 2 months for us is an appropriate amount of time to get through one episode.
Yeah.
So literally, because that would have been 8 episodes per episode, which is roughly about what we do, 8 to 10. So I was like, that's perfect. We're going to get through it just in time for the new season to release. And now
because they originally were talking August 2026 and then it became January.
Yes, I was expecting.
That's why we thought we could take our break last March through the end of April.
I was expecting May because that's when we got the last one. So I was thinking May, end of May, sometime that we were going to get it. My birthday present, though much, Bridgerton. No, you gave it to me months early this year, and now it's not a present, and you owe me more for my birthday now. That's how I see that.
I'm getting it a couple weeks before my birthday.
Yes, and it's a big one.
Yeah, so it better be a good second.
Yeah, yes.
Now, once again, thank you for listening to the musings of 2 mad women.
And their pop culture references. Yours truly, Tash the Kiwi.
And Lady Patty, Rip, Catherine.